All right, I jumped back on just so I could run through the rest of the houses. I might as well run through all of them today. All right, so I'm just gonna pick it up with the eighth house and start from there. All right, so eighth house, Capricorn seeds, Capricorn influence for the eighth house. Now this is my what? We just went through Cancer risings in the seventh. We got Gemini risings. Gemini risings, okay? So when we look at these energies in the eighth house, Capricorn in the eighth house is going to have a real realistic approach towards dealing with shadow work, towards dealing with, shared resources. When you got Capricorn in the eighth house, when it comes to the resources of others, oh, they gonna see that shit. They gonna see what's to gain. What's this? My Gemini risings. They gonna understand the resources that could be exchanged amongst their relationships. You feel me? They gonna understand that. They gonna understand that energy. When we look at Saturn influencing that eighth house, has a real realistic approach towards building upon transformative situations in their life, things that impacted emotions, serious, even possibly a serious approach towards dealing with, the occult or how they conduct things behind the scenes, So when we're looking at Mercury trans in the eighth house, the mind has heavily been on things that you want to change or transform. You may have had real transformative thoughts, period. So when it comes to how you think, you may find yourself changing how you think about things a lot these past by the past week and a half or whatever, since Mercury been in your eighth house. When Mercury changes in the eighth house, the mind is going to be on shadow work, the things that you need to heal, right? The wounds that you need to heal with Mercury transit in the eighth house. When Mercury transit in the eighth house, you may also be feeling a little more, a little introverted. Feel like being to yourself a bit. Feel like dealing with your solitude a bit with Mercury transit in the eighth house, okay? But it's definitely going to have the mind swimming around, things dealing with, transformation, your emotions, insecurities, your passions, all the things that's deep and intense within you. Mercury's paying attention to all of that right now and gaining new ideas how to deal with these things. Then we also have Venus going retrograde in the eighth house. So when Venus go retrograde in the eighth house, you can anticipate a lot of things that played out as heavy desires in your life or heavy temptations in your life. You can expect these things to start coming back in your life and trying to see if you're going to fall for the temptation. You're going to have these people, places, and things that play out as a desire or temptation come back into your life right now and see if you don't have if you don't have the Saturn within you right now, if you don't have the Capricorn, that detached energy within you right now, or that realistic approach to look at that desire and temptation and know that's not something for you to put time into right now. That's something you need to stay detached from. Understand that with Venus going retrograde in that eighth house. Venus in the eighth house has already been putting y'all through a transformation with how y'all deal with love before it even started touching Pluto in that eighth house. Before it even started touching Pluto, Venus got in that eighth house for the past month, and it's already been putting y'all through transformations with how y'all deal with love, how y'all deal with y'all appreciation. There's a lot of shit that y'all was appreciating before y'all don't appreciate y'all not appreciating now. Some individuals that you thought you cared about, you might not be valuing them right now with Venus transit in the eighth, all right? Because you start to see what's behind the scenes with something that you was loving with Venus transiting the eighth house. Okay. Also, with Venus transit in the eighth house, you got to be careful in how far you're going to use the energy in your life right now. You may be dealing with a certain situation where, you're connecting with a certain party, group, person because of a personal gain. You want to make sure you're doing things in positive, righteous spirit so you're not creating bad karma for yourself. With Venus transit in the eighth house, Mercury transit in the eighth house, it may be easy to kind of see how you could utilize or get something off of somebody else, so it really depends on how you go about having a healthy, positive, righteous exchange. But the eighth house does rule shared value. So Mercury and Venus will be picking up on what's to gain with the people that they connect to in this house by default. Now, that's the influences Venus and retrograde gonna be in there. Venus retrograde in that. This is who? This is my Gemini risings. I ain't gonna hold y'all Gem risings. Venus retrograde is intense in the 8th house. Venus transit in your 8th house already been intense. You already been going deep with your love language. You already been going deep, penetrating, trying to understand the root of your love language, trying to understand. You probably been reflecting on this past month on how past relationships have added certain trauma to your love life, or the things that you picked up from your love life, all the insecurities or things that may have developed. Once again, traumas may have developed from past relationships. Things that transform just how you deal with love, how you look at love. Like, all these things is under a magnifying glass with Venus transiting the 8th house. Because the 8th house is that deep, is that intense. So now that we got it going retrograde, it may just manifest bringing another monster, demon, temptation, desire from the past, to play on you. To play on your temptation, to see if you'll budge for it. So you guys stay strong right now, and you guys have to really understand that a lot of these situations will come back just to test if you're going to fall for it, right? Or if you're going to be weak towards the temptation or whatnot. But at the same time, it's Capricorn energy, so you still want to have a real realistic approach to understand, why you're detached from something, why you're not messing with something, like having concrete reasons why, So when that situation occurs, you're not just flirting with the idea of diving into something, overindulging into something, feeling something, connecting to that person, place, or thing because it just feel good, Always remember that concrete, sad, and realistic reason why you're not going there, okay? And now that we got the sun transit in the 8th house, when it comes to things that you're deeply passionate about, this is the time you're going to get more active about these things. The sun in this house is also going to bring more of an awareness on how to deal with shadow work and on certain things that you may have been unaware about when it comes to how you can work on things, because the sun coming in the 8th house is going to bring light to things that you were in the dark about. Janae said, I burned a letter to my ex-husband yesterday, the water, and cried. You release. You getting that release out. Once again, Venus in the 8th house, shadow work. Mercury in the 8th house, shadow work. You getting that release. You connecting and paying more attention and gaining more of awareness of the things that may have been deep within you, but you ain't really know it was really that much there. And it may have came up to the surface a little bit. When you got a lot of planets in the 8th house, transit in the 8th house, you're going to experience right now. You're going to experience that. A lot of energies right now coming up from the surface. You ain't know you had that much emotion left. You ain't know you was still that invested into a certain situation. And then now you dealing with the heavy, intense emotion of that coming up. You feel me? You trying to get a feel for how to transform that and use that for something. How to direct that. How to rise out of that. How to grow and learn through that. So you got to embrace it. It's intense. A lot of growth to come out of it, though. But once again, this is why I said, when you got a lot of planets transiting that water houses, 4th house, 8th house, 12th house, you're going to correlate to solitude. Because, look, you see how you're releasing right now? How are you going to feel comfortable in a release state like that, being so connected to so much things right now, being among so much people? It's good to connect to the external just to help you, deal with certain situations and not stay in that heavy emotional state. But at the same time, we got to acknowledge things that's deep within us, so we could find that release, so that energy don't build up and start playing out negative in our relationships, with people we do love, with our family, with our personal aspirations and the way we think about things. So with the sun transit in the 8th house is going to, provide a new awareness on how to take action on these things, more of a positive outlook on things dealing with transformation, helping bring influences on how you could transform things, especially within career, or how you get moolah. Okay, so these are the things that you want to be aware of right now. Sun transit in that 8th house. Okay, but right now you definitely in Zen mode. Like Gemini risings is definitely to themselves right now. Just thinking up of a trying to create a master plan. So you want to do that, but you also are in the process of this winter solstice of dealing with shadow work and acknowledging things that's heavy on your emotional state. All right. Now, 9th house, Taurus risings. Okay, so we got Capricorn in the ninth house. You guys are going to go through a lot of experiences dealing with understanding how to build in the physical reality, understanding how to utilize, understanding the spiritual significance of time, discipline, restriction. Okay, so you had Mercury transit in the ninth house. You've been having more of a philosophical outlook at things lately. You know, with Mercury transit in the ninth house, you may have more of a superstitious outlook at things a lot of the time. You know, playing out so many different scenarios of how things can manifest in your life. But is they all just like scenarios in your head? Mercury just get extra superstitious in the ninth house. You know, it's opposite from home here, so things be a little blurry with the way it thinks. So it gets to kind of have more expanded view of things, but probably not the most rational view of things. Now, Mercury in the ninth house could also be very free. So the mind here could start being influenced to pay attention to a lot of spontaneous adventurous shit that could possibly lead into reckless situations with Mercury in the ninth house. So y'all want to make sure y'all just being real stable in the moment. Okay. Now we also got Venus going retrograde in the ninth house. So this is a time where universe is going to influence y'all to get back to pouring love, or to continue pouring love into things that help you to bring new wisdom into your life. You know, pouring back nurture and time into things that can manifest new experiences in your life. With Venus transiting the ninth house, you know, ninth house deals with experiences and adventures, but it's also spiritually inclined house that deal with higher learning. So when Venus gets into this house, there may be something you are studying, you really want to learn, you got a passion for learning. Venus is this past month and a half, Venus been turning that fire back on, been turning that light back on. You know, so you probably been intensely learning, picking up new information on that thing, getting back hands-on and learning how to work something, create something, deal with something, learning how to new ways to work on a creative endeavor right now with Venus transit in the ninth house. Okay, so now that it's going retrograde, when it comes to past love experiences, you may not manifest the actual experience of encountering the old ex-partner, or you might, or whatnot, but you will manifest deep reflection on things that were to be learned from your past experiences. Okay, that's what you're gonna be dealing with motherfucking Venus going retrograde in the ninth house. All right, you know, when Venus is in the ninth house, it also influences you to support your ability to use knowledge and information you already have. So right now, Venus going retrograde, a lot of y'all Taurus rising may be in a state where, you know, you may start to realize something that you learned can be implemented into what you're doing business wise, or how you're using things in reality right now. You know, you may have experienced something. Venus going retrograde in the ninth house. It may be something you experienced, somebody you met earlier this year. You ain't have no purpose. You never thought about them, anything, you know, after you met them or whatnot. Venus going retrograde in the ninth house might just start realizing the significance to either meeting that person or something that could be built and connected with that person right now. So you start to develop more of a understanding of things that you experienced early in the year or whatnot. You know, when you got planets going retrograde in your ninth house. You know, and also things just dealing with your spiritual journey overall. These are things that you're going to want to get back, you know, to tidying up, having more of an efficient routine with. So let's say you used to be consistent with dealing with your altar work, with your meditation, you know, with certain things that you study. You was putting a certain time into studying astrology or studying tarot, whatever it is that you may be into on a spiritual level. You know, Venus going retrograde wants you to kick the gear back in with that Taurus risings and start getting your ish back together. You know, you deal with building in the physical realm, but now with Venus going retrograde in the ninth house, they want to make sure you spiritually right as you tackle things in the physical realm as well. Okay, but definitely understanding the more spiritual significance to why you may have experienced certain things in your relationships. Okay, ninth house adds a whole philosophical influence to things. So if you in a relationship right now and you got Venus transit in the ninth house, this whole past month you may have been looking at your partner like, yo, what? I fucks with you, but why? Why you here? Like, for real? Like, what you supposed to be teaching me? What is this relationship supposed to be teaching me? You might be real superstitious about your partner right now. Mercury, Venus, transit ninth house going retrograde. So what another thing Venus retrograde about to do transit ninth house, is about to remind you what sparked you about this person in the first place. You know? So instead of analyzing what the relationship's supposed to mean, Venus going retrograde in the ninth house period is going to put you in a situation where you're going to start to develop the understanding of why you attracted an individual, what you're supposed to be learning in this relationship, what your partner's supposed to be learning from you. You start to gain a whole expanded view on how you deal with your love language of Venus going retrograde in ninth house. But you also are about to see a lot of your mistakes with love come back, come intensely right now, because Venus retrograde energies already deal with karma. But when we got the ninth house deal with our knowledge and wisdom. And karma come quick with energies in ninth house. You got a lot of energies in the ninth house. You got sun in the ninth house, moon in the ninth house, stellium in the ninth house. You don't be getting as much chances to mess up as other people sometimes. You got like stellium in the ninth house, sun, moon in the ninth house, Jupiter in the ninth house. When you learn something, universe don't really be giving you that many chances to make it. Be like, nah, nope. You were supposed to be wise about that already. Because ninth house, that's Jupiter home. Ninth house deal with knowledge, wisdom. You know, you got a lot of planets in the house. You're going to naturally be seen as wise. You're going to be naturally seen as somebody that knows some shit. So it's a matter of time till people see if you really know some shit, or that's just your natural energies. That's just your natural aura coming out the ninth house. It's like, oh, this person's got mad ninth house energies. They aura say they wise. They open-minded and everything, but they really just reckless. You know? They really just spontaneous and adventurous and open-minded as hell. But they do a lot of foolish shit. So it'd be that shift there if you got sun, moon in the ninth house, or a lot of energies in the ninth house, you know. I got the sun in the ninth house. I got the sun and Jupiter in my ninth house. So for me, you know, it take a split second. It take my presentation when I communicate, express myself or whatever. It can have a wise undertone to it, but you know, sooner or later you gonna look at me and be like, Boro know what the fuck he talking about, or Boro don't know what the fuck he talking about. It's no middle ground for somebody with the sun in the ninth house or those other placements, moon, Jupiter, and then you either gonna be seen as smart or the fool. That's it. So when you got all these planets transiting your ninth house right now, things may move like this. Euphoric glow, excuse me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but you say you got Mars and Venus in the ninth. So when it comes to the shit that you done learned about, when it comes to certain goals you had or certain relationships you was in, when it comes to everything you've learned connecting or trying to manifest a goal or being in a relationship, those things is like, those mistakes, you can't make that shit all the time. So it's like when you learn something with Venus in the ninth house, you learn something with your love language, you get out of a relationship. Once you start putting out that energy again that you know is going to create something negative in your relationship, or once you start seeing a red flag in your relationship, like universe do not be giving you that much time to digest it. It'd be like, yo, you just learned this. You just learned this. You better make the wise action right now. You feel me? Shit just be coming quick like that in ninth house. But yeah, overall though, that's what's going on with Venus retrograde in ninth house. You know, being able to be more wise about how you deal with love. There's going to be times that this Venus retrograde going to bring up situations when you wasn't wise dealing with your love before. Okay. Now the sun is coming into the ninth house. So when the sun comes into the ninth house, you know, when the sun comes into the ninth house, you're going to feel the need to feel more free, more expressive. Feel like you're doing new things. Feel like you're exploring new things. You know, you want to move around with the sun transit in the ninth house. Now it's in Capricorn. So, you know, the influence here this winter solstice is how am I able to work or stabilize things to provide a situation for me to be able to move freely. For me to be able to travel or experience something if I want to. Or if there's something that I really want to experience, there's this vacation I want to go on next year. There's There's this thing I want to build, or this lifestyle I want to build. With the sun coming into the ninth house, Mercury transiting the ninth house, Venus going retrograde, the influence for you guys during the winter solstice, Taurus risings, is what do I put time into or build in order to start altering my lifestyle to experience things the way I want to experience things? And what have I learned from my past? What resources and whatnot have I gained from my past to help support these new ideas and strategies on how to develop the lifestyle I want, or transform the lifestyle that I want, or be able to experience things I want to experience? Okay? That's what the sun is coming to build up in this house. All right? The sun low-key can get in its zen mode in the ninth house too, but the ninth house is a real social, enlightening, upbeat house, so it does come with a lot of interaction. So yeah, you may be dealing with a lot of social energies right now as well, but because it's such a high influence of spirituality here, you know, your spiritual influences, spiritual journey and whatnot, these things may be heavy, you know, on your conscious, whatnot. And then when those things is heavy on your conscious, sometimes you just want to beat yourself to digest a lot of these things. But you know, the sun will in the ninth house will influence, you know, doing new things, learning new things, or not even physically, but at least sparking the mind with new things that you're learning, new things that you're paying attention to. All right, so that's what we got going on with the sun in the ninth house. Now 10th house. Okay, Aries risings, Capricorn in the 10th house. The 10th house is Capricorn's home. Okay, so you got Capricorn in the 10th house, Aries rising. You're already going to have a natural ambition to want to build this house up, possibly gain recognition or popularity for something. Well, I don't even want to say popularity, but you might have gained recognition or notoriety for something early in life with Capricorn in the 10th house that you were working on, whether you was an athlete, you used to go to competitions for something, you was doing something in your neighborhood or whatnot, you got popular, you know. Aries risings usually manifest some type of notoriety for something early. It can even become just basically being popular for something early in life, or developing the adolescent stages, high school, whatnot. So that's what we got going on with Capricorn in the 10th house though, but it's going to have a natural influence to place time into career, to be patient, building things in career. So if you got Saturn in 10th house, Aries here, Aries risings, you actually have to learn how to be patient here, because you deal with friction, because you got Aries square in the 10th house. So your personality is on the go, thrives on its visions, its awareness, on its inspiration, right? But when you get into the 10th house, it's like you got to slow down and learn how to be more patient, learn to be more organized, learn to be more disciplined, right? Learn to be able to manage things better when it comes to career. So deal with more of a sense of practicality in career. So that's going to be one of the main influences during winter solstice, all right? How practical and strategical are things set up right now for you in career, Aries risings? When it comes to how y'all build stability and whatnot, we know y'all hella creative, and we know y'all got, you know, a huge, a lot of y'all are really naturally confident in your ability to manifest something personally. But that thing in that 10th house, how much of a strategy do you have for that right now? So Venus going retrograde is about to help to revise what resources you have to build up your 10th house, how to use the love that you may already get in your 10th house. You may already get love and support for something in your 10th house already, Aries rising. And Venus been trying to get you to understand that the past month and a half. So now Venus going retrograde is going to, you know, intensify the influence of that thing that you're known for, you got notoriety for, that thing that's connected to how your social status is perceived, and being able to see if that's something we could build more on, if that's something we could use more right now. All right. So Venus retrograde is going to be doing that, on top of getting you to get back to pouring some more love into what you want to do a career, or continue to put more love, you know, more energy, more time into what you want to build up in career, that business, that brand, or that overall social status. Now, Mercury in the 10th house is bringing a whole bunch of strategy and detail to how you deal with the 10th house. Career may be heavy on the mind. Bills, responsibilities, stability may be heavy on the mind. Be careful not overwhelming yourself in that area. and rather lean on the positive strategies and solutions you have to deal with that area. I got Mercury in the 10th house in my natal. So a lot of the times, those are the things by default that overwhelm me, that I may overthink a lot about, my brand, business, just gaining stability in life, how I'm perceived a lot of the times, how I'm broadcasted. Like, these are how I could work on the ways that I'm broadcasted or whatnot, how I could communicate, express myself in a more articulate way when it comes to how I'm broadcasting my social status. That's just natural Mercury there. But a lot of times, business, career, that could start to overwhelm with your mental and what you're always thinking about, what you're always paying attention to. So Mercury in the 10th house, you want to make sure you have that balance, make sure career, how you make money, is not just dominating everything that you think about, but also helping to bring new strategies, ideas, and plans to what you've been working on. And as Venus in retrograde brings old opportunities, career opportunities you may have not jumped on before, or things that that once again you need to nurture more in career. Mercury's here to bring ideas on how to do them things. Now the sun is coming to the 10th house, so with all of that being in the mix, the sun is here to capitalize off of all the new revisions being made in career. Okay, the sun is here to capitalize into placing new action, a new breath of life into what you're doing in career, or how you're trying to stabilize things. Also, when it comes to your social status and things that you're known for, the sun is going to make it evident. If you don't know, the sun is going to really start to show you more potential of what type of brand or social status can be developed from you working or stabilizing something, or ultimately making a transition in career, or manifesting a certain position within your career field right now. The sun is going to bring a new awareness to all of that. So Aries rising, that's the main theme for your winter solstice. Okay, now Pisces risings, Capricorn in the 11th house. Now, what is the 11th house? The 11th house deals with the public environment, society, political sciences, politics, what's going on in the world. The air house is dealing with relationships, business relationships, associates. Right now, we in the 11th house. We're on social media. We're using technology. We're communicating. We're exchanging, especially dealing with astrology. Astrology is an 11th house thing, because the 11th house is a spiritually inclined house as well. So it's dealing with the abstract. It's dealing with, the unknown. So when we look at Venus going retrograde in this house, it's been bringing influences of, once again, air houses. Now we're dealing with people. So maybe old situations that of either people used to surround yourself with in some type of shape or form, people used to network with or build with in some type of shape or form. Yeah, I did Leo rising in the previous live. When it comes to, let me see, Cancer rising. Yeah, I did Leo rising in the previous live. When it comes to people you used to be around, people you may have associated yourself with, people you used to network with in some type of shape or form, a group of people you used to be with. It's saved though. It's on my IGTV, so you could just go to IGTV. That's what we got going on in the 11th house. So when we got Venus retrograde going here, now you're starting to reevaluate the relationships that you think you value, or that you're pouring into. You're giving time and energy into maybe a certain environment, people that you used to be around, and they may come back into play in your life, and you have to be more realistic and have a good judgment of character, to see if these are people you should continue to associate yourself with, network, build with, okay, with Venus going retrograde in the 11th house. So anticipate that. Anticipate old career projects coming back up for you to see if this is something that, your heart is in, but you haven't been putting work in it. Those things are going to come back into your conscious. Okay. Mercury transiting the 11th house is going to play out situations where there's going to develop new ideas about how to connect what you got going on into the external realm, whether it's a business, whether it's a creative project, or something that you're individually into, and seeing how you could either connect it to people that's into that too, or how you could just make your individual presence more established in the outside realm, whether it's through some sense of actual physically connecting with people, or a huge 11th house influence, social media. technology. But overall, when we got Mercury transit in 11th house, it's developing new ideas and strategies on how to do that. You know, you may be developing a bunch of whole new ideas on how to market something, or how to connect a business and brand to the external realm. You know, maybe new information you're getting about how you can exchange and, you know, connect the things that you're into the outside realm right now. This may be a very interactive time for you right now. Maybe getting a lot of DMs, texts, emails, a lot of things, a lot of people wanting to build or share energies, exchange energies, overall real social period, you know. So you want to make sure you're stable and making sure you're in the present as, you know, you're making possible new connections or whatnot, or just interacting a lot, but also being conscious of letting people know what you're building and what you're into, because you know you got mad planets translating in your 11th house, so you don't know what opportunities can manifest from you being more expressive of what you're into in the external realm, in a public environment or whatnot. So yeah, Venus in retrograde got you here reevaluating the people that you associate yourself with, and what certain groups, communities you're a part of that, you know, you either probably feel like evolving from, or situation that you feel like a group or environment that, or a community that you feel like you already got what you needed from there. You possibly need to evolve from that in some type of shape or form. All right. But ultimately also showing what relationships, you know, you should continue to value or don't reciprocate your value. This is Venus transit going retrograde in 11th house for my Pisces rising. This will also be a situation where certain relationships here, you're definitely going to see which relationships, as far as a business relationship, or like let's say a group of people that you're working on something, you know, you're going to start to realize how much they may take you for granted in that motherfucker, and they don't appreciate you in that situation too. So that might be something you gain a realization about right now. You may just realize that the reason why you're working with them is really something you could do individually on your own. Okay. Now the sun is coming into the 11th house. So the sun is about to bring a whole new awareness on what action to express or communicate to others in this house based off of what you're feeling and gathering with Venus going retrograde here, and with the new ideas and awareness Mercury been picking up, and the critique Mercury been picking up in this house. So it's also a huge critique on yourself, on your ability to take something that you're into and connect it to the external realm. Maybe a little pressure there with how you're thinking about doing that. But overall, the sun is here to experiment, be more action oriented on how it does that. You know, be more expressive, or find ways to have the light shine on you for something in the external realm, whether once again you're doing it in the actual physical environment, or you're doing it through some form of communication, social media, whatever that may be. Okay, but the sun, this is a very social time for you guys. It would be very wise for you to make sure that, you know, you're expressive of what you're into, what you're building, what you're working on with other individuals, especially if you're in a space with other creatives and you're creative yourself. You're an artist yourself. You're in a space with other artists. You know, you're into real estate. You're in a space with other real estate people or whatnot. You want to let it be known that you into this shit too, that you building too. You know, 11th house, you don't know what opportunities to make manifest from people, communication, interaction. All right. So the winter solstice is going to have a huge influence on that, or just you being able to cultivate the ideas of what is it you want to connect to the outside world. All right. So you want to make sure that you're in a healthy state to digest that, be open to all these new signs and influences, especially with Mercury and Venus going retrograde in that 11th house. All right. And last but not least, okay, my Aquarius risings, Capricorn in that 12th house. All right. Now, when we got Mercury transiting the 12th house, okay, the mind is on the subconscious. The mind is on your potential. The mind is a little daydreamy right now, okay? So inspiration is real high. Imagination, creativity is out through the roof. But you may be real either delusional about things right now, may not be having the best sense of reality right now. You know, a little late places, oversleeping a little bit, blanking out a little bit. You know, it's that 12th house space. So you Mercury getting there, be in la la land. And it's going to be creative as hell. It's going to be in tune, you know, with its subconscious and its imagination. I tell you that much. But, you know, every positive, every place we got positive, negative. So when we look at Mercury transit in the 12th house, you know, it's going to bring that type energy. It's going to be a bit more clairvoyant and intuitive here, but could have the ability to just be a little lost in the sauce at times, a little daydreamy. So you just want to make sure but you do got Capricorn in the 12th house, so that helps a whole lot here, because you're going to have more of a realistic way of thinking about things, dealing with, your creative endeavors, your dreams, or either insecurities or things that certain insecurities that you have. The 12th house could deal with insecurities, traumas, and whatnot. Shadow work is a water house, subconscious house. So, the mind is going to be on top of these things here, but it's Capricorn energy. So the fact you got Capricorn in the 12th house, you're going to, and water signs in the earth houses, you are more realistic and practical and rational with the way you deal with the emotions in those areas of life. So that's the influences. Like Mercury's going in there now. Venus is going retrograde in the 12th house. When Venus is transiting the 12th house, it could be a real, it could be a transit where you're heavily supported with things that you truly believe in, creative projects and all that, but it also could be a transit where you get lost in the sauce and you start connecting to a person, place, or thing that taps you out of reality. This past month and a half, for a lot of you Aquarius risings, may have manifested a situation where it's either a person, a Netflix show, weed, alcohol, a YouTuber that you really like. You may have just lost yourself in that energy lately, and it taps you out of reality, and you just love what you're learning, what you're feeling, the new awareness that's being developed, the new experience. But you ODing though, you overindulging Aquarius rising, like you might have got a little too, Venus getting to that 12th house, and whatever sparks her to feel good, she'll run out of reality with it, We won't hear from you from a couple of days. So now that Venus is going retrograde, is a time to reevaluate these things that you may have been overindulging in when it comes to, what taps you in, what plays out as an escape mechanism. So it's not to say that you can't watch Grey's Anatomy or motherfucking, you can't binge watch whatever your favorite new YouTuber or whatnot. But now that Venus is going retrograde, it is important to understand how you overindulging and overdoing it and not pacing things out have taken away from the time for you to work on your reality or work on certain responsibilities or whatnot in your life. Your 12th house is very active right now. So overall, you guys, Aquarius risings overall, may really not, just like Wellness by Willow said, you may have a real detached sense of dealing with reality, maybe in heavy ghost mode right now. It's like when you got all these planets in your 12th house, even in your natal chart, let's say you got a 12th house stellium, or even if you got 2 planets in that motherfucker, but definitely if you got like a stellium, 3 or more planets, you the type of individual that is like, you really be in a blissful state in your own zone. And you, like, people have to match that energy to be around you. It's like if you could just be in your crib chilling, watching this, doing that in the third, and be in the most blissful, peaceful state, whoever you deal with has to be able to be in that space and not throw none of that off. Or if you that heavy 12th house person, they're gonna be good off you, because it's like, when I'm by myself, I don't be here. So if you're going to be with me, you got to be able to travel with me. And if I realize when you in my space, I can't travel to where I want to travel because you midway here or you still there, you're not going there with me. It's like, all right, I'd rather be to myself. I'd rather be to myself and plan when I want to be around, when I want to be around y'all. You feel me? So I can at least get my shit together for knowing I'm about to be around y'all. But if you about to be in my space, in my bubble, in my sanctuary, you got to be able to travel out there with me, okay? So, but overall, though, Venus in the 12th house, that person, place, or thing may have been a sense of overindulgence there in some type of shape or form. So now that Venus is going retrograde, all right, this is going to play out a situation where you get to revise that, rearrange that. You get to look in the mirror and be like, damn, I've been beasting. I've been spending too much nights at Shorty's crib. I don't even know what my bathtub probably dirty as hell. I don't remember the last time I took a bath, a shower at my own crib. My fish probably hungry as hell. I haven't been back home. I just been at Shorty crib all week, eating all her food, using all her hair products in the head. Let me try this. What's this? Shea butter shit. Right. Using all her products. It's like, all right, you ODing, you overindulging in your comfort zone. Yeah, you going to Shorty crib helps you to exhale, detach from responsibilities or things that's weighing heavy in your mind. She making you food. She washing your hair, deep conditioning and shit. You know, you trying new products in your shit. Her bed bigger than your bed and shit. So you just overindulging. We ain't ever heard from you. People texting you, calling you, we haven't heard from you. Yeah, you got stellium transit in the 12th house. You got all these planets transit in the 12th house. You gonna gravitate towards connecting to a person, place, or thing that helps you be in a more in a comfort zone. That make you feel like you in your own little comfortable spiritual bubble. Okay, taking Ubers to. Yeah, chill. I ain't trying to go back there. I dragged Scorpios in the 8th houses on that one, taking Ubers to work. Yo. Oh, man. 8th houses is crazy. Scorpios is crazy, man. But yeah, so boom, you got Venus. That's what Venus retrograde going to be doing in that 12th house. It may be somebody you may have just started dealing with somebody recently. And since Venus been transiting your 12th house, you've been kicking it with them. It's been dope as hell. The honeymoon phase is just blissful and beautiful as hell. And now it's like Venus going retrograde. So it's not saying you can't fuck with the person no more. But it's like you may have to, you might have to let them know like, okay, things been going real fast. I got these responsibilities going on. We can still kick it in the weekends or whatnot when we both done with our work schedule, from Friday to Sunday, whatever. But I kind of about to get back more into reality. Like Venus retrograde going to start doing that, helping you understand how to adjust the space between what you need to work on, all right, and the things that you attach to. Now, with Venus also transiting in the 12th house, this is a situation where it going retrograde is going to bring creative endeavors that you care about, but you have not been working them like that or putting time into them right now or recently. Venus retrograde is gonna re-spark that situation. So if you're an artist and you haven't been jumping into your art like that due to whatever reason, Venus going retrograde in the 12th house is about to make you reevaluate the fact that you love dealing with your art. And you need to make sure you're dealing with your art to keep your, to have that relationship with the inner child still stimulated, to make sure, you always in touch with your creativity and your imagination. Like Venus is going to start helping to put that nurture and love back into things, dealing with your pastimes and creative endeavors and things that creatively stimulate you. Mercury's in the 12th house. Mercury gets real blurry and superstitious here too. Mercury mind being la la land here too. So real intuitive, creative influence, a great time to be dealing with, super diving into your art. If you're a rapper and you got Mercury transit in the 12th house, you wanna really be listening to beats and writing songs every day, because you might be able to really access some energies, really access some more energies mentally, For some of you guys that are artists, songwriters, write poetry. If I got any writers, anybody dealing with any form of art that's specifically dealing with lyricism, dialogue, wordplay, you write scripts, anything, man, sometimes when you in a creative bag, that pen move by itself. All right? Sometimes we accessing, depending on different transits, vibrations we're in, the percentage of how we're channeling a gift that we may have. We sometimes, when you working with a God level of energy, sometimes when they say that wasn't me, God just working through me, God just using me as a vessel, that's how it be sometimes. So if you're an artist right now, you got all these planets transiting your Aquarius rise, you got all these planets transiting your 12th house, it'll not even if you're an artist, it's just for anything that you're doing on a creative level. If you're, invested in building your imagination into a reality, there will be a platoon of new ideas and influences of how to do things. And once you're in the motion of working things this winter solstice Capricorn season, when the sun come in here and you're taking more action and you're taking more of an initiative of trying to see how to implement your creativity in certain areas, see how to do things differently with your creativity in this area or with work or whatnot, you're going to start, feeling that access of like, damn, I'm flowing right now, or my creativity is just, I feel like I'm starting to find my creativity it's fitting the right pocket right now. It's fitting the right container right now. Usually my creativity is probably all up in the air, or I have mad ideas with Capricorn in the 12th house on how I want to work on my shit. But right now with the stellium Venus going retrograde, helping me reevaluate how I nurture my creativity, my aspirations, my creative endeavors. And then I got Mercury helping me develop new ideas. It's a little blurry, but I can't help but think about how to deal with my creativity and whatnot, because Mercury transit in my 12th house, and then the sun coming in here, so it's like, it's a whole new energy that helps you to reignite things that you were dealing with creativity, I don't know why I can't say it right now, creatively, the fuck. Anyways, so with these energies influence here, you might just catch yourself flowing right now. Because you in the dream world, you in that 12th house right now. You might catch yourself flowing, new ideas right now. But this is why you want to stay in that Zen space, right? Hold on, chills. I looked up the red has the chart on well and out, and her chart screams lyricist, astrology, crazy. She be rapping and all that. I know who you talking about. I forgot her name. I know who you talking about though. White girl. She be rapping and all that shit. So yeah, that's what we got going on with the 12th house Aquarius risings. That sun in that 12th house wants to give life. It wants to breathe life into new aspirations right now, but it may take you having to put some distance between a person, place, or thing that you really love or overly connected to, in order to give yourself some clarity to think and strategize things. Then again, Venus been transiting in this house. So whatever it is you've been connecting to, attached to, leaning on, using as an escape mechanism, you're aware of these things right now. So as it goes retrograde, you should already be ahead of the curve, understanding what you need to give some time to. And then Mercury's here. So it's helping you, once again, develop the ideas and solutions, and it's critiquing you in the right area. Okay? Mercury's going to overthink where it's at, but it's going to help critique you in the right area. All right? So the sun is here to take action on all of them things. Okay? The sun is also, once again, going to gain more of an awareness on things dealing with your imagination and your aspirations and the potential of things. So it's like, I like to say, once again, the 12th house deal with potential. So if you got the sun with the sun coming into this house during the winter solstice, you can be riding a cloud right now. You can be riding a big high or a big expectation, because the 12th house deal with potential and imagination. So the potential of what you're seeing, the sun is continually, every day in Capricorn season, the sun is going to be adding more light, more awareness on your potential, on what you could do with your creativity. So it could be a highly inspired time, but you got to make sure you're in the present and taking things one day at a time, Aquarius rising, because you can shoot things way too high. You can shoot out way too much to accomplish in one day or in the season overall. So you got to take things one day at a time. The 12th house is limitless. It's boundless. There's no limits. There's no ceilings here. So with all these planets in this house, yeah, inspiration can be real high. Yeah, real creative, real imaginative right now. All right? But you want to be practical and find, once again, that container, that pocket, that routine, that schedule for your creative endeavor to flourish in. Okay? And once you find that during the winter solstice, you out of here. You out of here, Aqua Rising. All right? But we all got to take this shit one day at a time. Okay? So, happy winter solstice, family. Happy Capricorn season. Okay? Didn't want to keep y'all this long, but y'all know y'all know how the lucky Libra do, man. Y'all know how the lucky Libra do. All right, guys. So I hope y'all had a lovely moon day. I hope y'all had a fruitful start to the week. I hope y'all had a great start to the week. Okay, I hope everybody's getting acclimated and aligned with the Saturn, Capricorn influence. And all right, we welcome in that shift in tomorrow. All right, guys. Jen-ish, that makes me feel, that fulfills me knowing, you feel better just, resonating with this energy. All right, guys. So rest up. We're dealing with a bunch of new energies tomorrow. Not only is the sun moving from Sagittarius to Capricorn, the moon is moving from Cancer into Leo. Okay. So, yeah, the moon is moving into Leo tomorrow. So we dealing with shifts between the sun and the moon. So what we felt yesterday and today, there's a whole flip of that tomorrow. Cardinal signs, we was on the hot seat yesterday and today. Libras, Aries, and Capricorns. Now the fixed signs the heat is on y'all now. The moon is the moon gonna be in Leo. So Scorpios, Aquarius, and Tauruses, y'all gotta learn how to be more concentrated on your creative expression. Scorpio, not too concentrated on how you feel to the point it blocked the opportunity to deal with the creative self-expression. Aquarius, not being overly rational or trying to have the best idea or strategy, and it holds back you being action-oriented or expressing something, and you end up procrastinating. Taurus, not being so overly patient. It's like, damn, you done mastered patience 1,000 different lifetimes. You too patient. You could do something now. You can get up and act on something now, Taurus. All right? So that's the energy Tauruses want to be in, get more comfortable just getting up and acting without having to overly practicalize things. So fixed signs on the hot seat. Sun going into Cap tomorrow. I love y'all, gang. All right? And we gonna connect tomorrow. Y'all already know what it is.